Okay. So, we are describing the place of articulation. So, better if I show you the pictures, let us show you these pictures. Can you tell me which is the place of articulation? It is written. If you see the place of articulation, back of the tongue touches the back cavity, this velar region. So, velar region it is touches. So, it is place of articulation is velar. Okay. Now, vocal cords are open. So, I can say it is a unvoiced velar. Unvoiced velar. What is the unvoiced velar sound symbol? If you see the IPA chart, it is co. Unvoiced velar. So, there is another variety that can be vocal cord can be closed. If you see here, place of constriction is same, but during the constriction vocal cord is also closed. Okay. So, if the vocal cord is closed, then I call it is a voiced part of the velar. So, it is go. Okay. Now, co, if it is a co is a plosive sound, plosive. Co is a plosive sound. So, manner of articulation, this place of articulation, both are velar. Velar, both are velar, place of articulation. Both consonants are placed at velar position. In here, manner of articulation, as per the vocal cord, it is called unvoiced, it is called voiced. Unvoiced or voiced. Now, if you see physically that if a constriction is happen in a tube and back of the tongue there is a air pressure is building up, here the air pressure is building up when the constriction is happen. Now, if the air pressure is building up, then suddenly it wants to burst. Okay. So, that is why we call it is a plosive sound. Okay. Now, during that the plosive, so there is two kinds of movement. If you see here, articulator has to be released. Okay. If it is released, then a plosive will be happen. Okay. Now, if you see any consonant, we cannot produce a single consonant alone, because during the production of the co, articulator is completely closed, vocal cord is open. So, that means no signal is coming out from the mouth. Then how do you know it is a co? So, if you see, we said none of the consonant can be produced single, it has to be produced with a vowel. So, I can say ko and a, ka, I can produce. Think about the production sequence. If I want to produce the ka, during the ko, the back of the tongue touches the velar position, okay, and it is totally closed, cavity is totally closed. Then suddenly it has to be burst. To when the cavity will be, the constriction will be open, then there will be a burst sound will release. So, if I see the sound plane, I will show you in the wave diagram also, wave acoustic signal, it is silence, no signal. Suddenly there will be a burst. Okay. Then the burst is happened. So, this vocal the tube constriction is released, but I have to produce a. So, there is a requirement, the vocal cord has to be closed. To production of a, I require vocal cord has to be closed. So, if I want to close the vocal cords, so there is a synchronization problem between the articulator close and release and vocal cord close and release. So, there will be a time gap. So, if I say state diagram, let us hear vocal cord articulator is closed. So, velar portion is closed means articulator is closed. So, articulator is closed, no signal. Let us, this is the articulator open position, this is closed position, this is articulator. Now, this is vocal cords or glottis. This is closed position, this is open position, and this is closed position. Close. This is vocal cord. Okay. Now, articulator is closed during the production of ka. I want to produce ka. So, during the ka period, articulator is closed. Okay. Then suddenly it want to open. So, the opening is not drastically fall out. So, it is open, and then it has to be produced vowel a. Tongue has to move to produce the vowel a. So, the articulator is closed in here like this way. This is the not approximate like this point, articulator is completely open, this point. Okay. Now, vocal cord is open during the production of the ka. So, this period vocal cord is open. Okay. Now, once it want to produce a, it has to be closed. Vocal cord has to be closed. So, vocal cord, let us vocal cord close in here. Want to close in here, and then it start closing in here, and then complete a will be produced in here. Let complete a position, tongue move in here. Okay. So, if I say this point burst is occur, this silence, then burst is occur. Then articulator is not completely open, and it is not exactly a. So, there will be although the vocal cord is also not open, vocal cord is open here, not closed. So, vocal cord is closed here. So, vibration is start from here. So, let us this vibration is start, and here I reach the vowel a. Okay. I can show you one picture. Let us come here. If we see in this picture, so during the production the articulator is closed, no sound, vocal cords is open, articulator is closed, vocal cord is open, vocal cord is open. So, this period we call occlusion. Okay. Now, articulator is suddenly released, there is a burst is occur, but articulator released and sudden sound is come, and articulator try to move to position of the produce the vowel a. Okay. Now, if you see same time glottis may not be closed. So, there is no voice sound. So, there is a voice gradual gap between the articulator close, articulator open, and vocal cord close. So, there is a settling time, that is called voiced onset time, VOT, voiced onset time. So, then there will be a transitory part of the vowel, then the steady state vowel will be reached. Okay. So, here if you see totally unvoiced, totally nothing, no signal is there, occlusion. Then there is a burst, then there is a gap between the articulator opening and vocal cord closing. So, there is called VOT, voice onset time. During this period, vocal cord may produce an aspiration sound, then it is called aspirated sound. If it is aspiration is not there, we call unaspirated VOT. So, VOT, this VOT might be aspirated or may be unaspirated. So, depending on the whether it is aspirated or unaspirated, we can say we have a 4 varieties of velar sound: ka, then kha, then ga, and gha. So, upper H, this H is aspiration, symbol for aspiration as per the IPA notation. If aspiration is voiced, then we call voiced aspiration. If the aspiration is unvoiced, then we call unvoiced aspiration. Okay. So, I have a velar sound, 4 varieties: Ka, aspiration, Kha, Ga and Gha. All are plosive or stop plosive. Ka is velar, Kha is velar, Ga is velar, Gha is velar. Only difference is the manner of articulation. If I say Ka is unvoiced, unaspirated. During the production of the Ka, the back of the tongue touches the velar position, but vocal cord is open. So, there is no voicing during the occlusion, that is why it is called unvoiced plosive, unvoiced velar, unvoiced. Since VOT does not carry any aspiration, then it is called unaspirated sound. So, unvoiced, unaspirated, velar, plosive. This is the explanation of Ka. We write this way, we put two slash line to produce to identify the different sound. This is the symbol for writing the vowel sound, any consonant or any IPA notation sound. So, if it is Ka, once I write Ka, then and there I know what its property. What is the property? It is unvoiced, unaspirated, velar, plosive. Is okay? Unvoiced, unaspirated, velar, plosive. So, if I start from this language, mainly in Indian language, if I give the example, if you see, if it is a vocal cords is look like this, if you see that this is my upper cavity and this is my lower cavity, this is my lower cavity and this is velum. Okay. If it is upper cavity bilabial, dental, alveolar, post-alveolar, palatal, velar, uvelar, pharyngeal and glottal. Okay. Now, if I come from this side, velar, let us uvelar, velar, palatal, post-alveolar, alveolar, okay. Then dental, then bilabial, labial. Depending on that way, if you see in most of the Bengali language, Bengali, Hindi, most of the Indian language, velar, then we have Ka, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. So, we start from here, velar sound, velar consonant, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. So, difference is unvoiced, unaspirated, unvoiced, aspirated, voiced, unaspirated, voiced, aspirated. Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. Then there is a nasal stop. No. So, that is velar nasal. If that is nasal is produced, that we call velar nasal. Okay. So, then there will be nasal sound which is velar nasal. I just forgot the symbol of the velar nasal. I can go to the IPA chart and find out the symbols for the velar nasal. If I say the velar nasal, it is look like not curl back. It will be velar nasal not curl back. It will be look like this. This is velar nasal. Okay. So, velar nasal. Then after the velar, we have, forget about the cha, affricates I will come later on, that is cha, cha, ja, ja will come later on. So, then we have a ta. Retroflex is the post-alveolar to palatal region is the retroflex. So, tip of the tongue curl back and touches the upper cavity, that is called retroflex sound. If I come to the animation, this is the retroflex sound. And retroflex also have ta, tha, da, dha. What is there? Retroflex sound or writing ta is to, but it is called this bottom up is a curl back, that is the symbol of retroflex. symbol of retroflex. So, it is nothing but a ta unvoiced unaspirated retroflex, unvoiced aspirated retroflex, voiced unaspirated retroflex, voiced aspirated retroflex, ta, tha, da, tha. Okay. So, depending on the place and manner, I am writing the symbol. Okay. Then, if it is retroflex, retroflex no, I can write retroflex no in here, which is nothing but a n, but curl back. Retroflex no. Then, after retroflex, we have a dental sound, ta, tha, da, dha. So, we have a ta, tha, da, dha. Bengali, Hindi, all Indian language, ta, tha, da, dha. Unvoiced, unaspirated, unvoiced, aspirated, voiced, unaspirated, voiced, aspirated. This is velar, this is retroflex, this is dental or alveolar. Okay. Then we have a pa, pha, ba, bha. Unvoiced, unaspirated, unvoiced, aspirated, voiced, unaspirated, voiced, aspirated, bilabial, labial. Okay. So, this is the stop consonant. If you see in Bengali language or Hindi language, all stop consonants are exist and all have 4 varieties. Hindi or most of the Indian languages are the 4 varieties, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 in retroflex, 1, 2, 3, 4 in dental region, 1, 2, 3, 4 in labial region. Then there is another sound in Indian language, if you see, that is called affricate. What is affricate sound, you can say. If you see this one, affricate sound means it is a combination of 2 sounds. When I produce cha, if you see that when I producing cha, then tip of the tongue touches the dental region and glide back to velar region to produce the friction sound. Okay. So, tip of the tongue touches the dental region to produce the plosive part, and after the plosive, tongue is curled, the tongue is pushed back and touches the post-alveolar region to produce the friction. Then we can write the symbol ta is the plosive part. So, it is written by T, and this saw is the friction part, which is written by the palatal or post-alveolar saw. So, I can write post-alveolar or palatal saw. I do not know what is that saw. So, this saw is palatal or post-alveolar, saw. So, if it is unvoiced friction, then I can write F, this kind of say, not F, there is no cut, this one. So, it is a plosive plus friction, 2 kinds of sounds are there, that is why it is written in 2 symbols, cha, cha. So, 2 symbols, 2 sounds are there. So, similarly, if it is voiced, then I can write the, and I can write this one, sorry, this one, okay. Okay. So, D, this is not retroflex. So, D and friction part, this is voice friction, this is the voice plosive. Similarly, this cha, after the friction, there may be a VOT which is aspirated or unaspirated. So, I can write either this symbol which is cha and cha, and this symbol is jaw, jaw. If it is aspiration, then it is jaw. So, this way all the consonant can be described. It can be consist of two symbols or it can consist of single symbol, and with the diacritics marks which explain whether the aspiration is present or not. This aspiration, if this H has two varieties, if it is simple H, then it is called unvoiced aspiration. If it is a voiced aspiration, then I have to use the symbol of voice fricative. Okay. So, that all are described in here. Now, I will show you some picture. Okay. So, somebody if I give me this picture and told me which sound probably this is, I can say this is nothing but a voiced stop, voiced bilabial stop. So, if it is a voiced bilabial stop, that means either it can have a ba or it can have a bha, that it can be have a aspirated voiced bilabial stop or it can have a unaspirated voiced bilabial stop. Now, if I see the picture after recording, if I see the spectrogram and the picture, if you see this is kha, you see here this is kha, bast, then VOT is aspirated and VOT is longer. All aspirated consonant VOT is longer. So, occlusion, bast, aspirated. If it is voiced, during the occlusion period vocal cord is closed. So, there is a voice bar kind of sound, that is why it is called voiced. So, occlusion is voiced. So, it is voice stop, go, go. Then if it is gha, then there will be aspiration, aspirated VOT, all other same, so then it is gha. Similarly, if I say affricate, occlusion part unvoiced, then friction, then VOT. So, if it is occlusion in unvoiced, friction is present, VOT is unaspirated, then it is chaw. If it is VOT is aspirated, then it is chaw. If it is occlusion is, if this portion is voiced, I can say this is voiced. So, it is jaw, jaw. So, I can show you after the next class that I open a spectrogram and I classify which kind of sound it is. If it is a fricative, the look like this. If it is a vowel, then it will be a periodic sound. Okay. It is a periodic sound. So, this is a different Bengali vowel shape. You can see the other vowel shape also. Then I can show you there is a phonetic chart for English language and Bengali language. You can see that there is a phoneme in English and phoneme in Bengali. So, all the phonemes I have tabularized in English, all the phonemes in Bengali. So, there is a thesis also, we have studied that similarity between the American English and Bengali English. So, there we have taken those things and find out the similarity, non-similarity, all those things. But here if you see the two phonemic chart, in English if you see we have only English plosive has only P, T, K, B, D, G, but in Indian language let us Bengali it has Ka, Ta, Ta, Pa. So, 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. Okay. But we have only 7 vowel in Bengali, but here if you see there are a lot of vowels in English. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Then if I say we have affricate, voice, unvoiced, fricative, then nasal, lateral, trill and flap. There is a nasal, affricate, fricative, lateral, approximant, all kinds of sounds are. So, there is a similar sound, dissimilar sound, all those things are there. So, you can go through that. But how to write that? Once I know the symbols, I can describe the place and manner of articulation. And if I know the place and manner of articulation, place of articulation and manner of articulation, I can write down the symbol. So, both way it has to be practiced, that if you want the, if I say that a consonant, a plosive, unvoiced, unaspirated, velar, plosive, then and there I have to write K. If I say K, then and there I know it is unaspirated, unvoiced, velar, plosive. Okay. So, this is the sound description, and this is how the place and manner of articulation are described in acoustic phonetics. Okay. So, then instead of vowel and consonant, there may be other sound also, like that approximant or okay, this is the vowel combination, semi vowel or glides, diphthong, hiatus, all kinds of sounds will be there. As an engineer, we should know, okay, what is the difference, signal wise difference between a semi vowel and a glide, hiatus and diphthong, that we should know. Not that what is the definition of hiatus, what is the definition of diphthong, there may be linguistic definition, all those things, but as an engineer I should know if there is a diphthong and if there is a semi vowel somebody is going. So, what is the difference between, because I have to recognize it from the signal. So, what does the signal look like this? So, I will show you the signal for Bengali, example Bengali, but there is another important things. I said that vowel or F1, F2 plane, all the cardinal, this is called cardinal diagram. So, cardinal vowel diagram it is called, vowel can be placed. If I place the Bengali vowel, it will look like this, back and front is F2, height is defined by F1, close or open is defined by F1. So, it is F1 and F2 plane. So, I can see that different vowels depending on their production mechanism, tongue position and tongue height, they are described, and that can be mapped in the F1 and F2 plane. Okay. So, when I describe the engineering model, I use this thing. So, if I say I want to classify, let us I give an example. If I say I want to classify between U and E, if the distance is much, one is front vowel, one is back vowel. So, in that case F2 value, one is very low and another is will be very high. So, F2 value will be different, F1 value will be different. So, depending on the F1, F2 value, so I can place the vowel and I can immediately understand which vowels can be classified in better accuracy from which. Okay. So, that cardinal vowel diagram, or if I say plot the cardinal vowel diagram of English, you can construct the F1, F2 vowel, F1, F2 of different sample and then plot it in F1, F2 plane and find out the where it is clustered, where U is there, what do you mean by central vowel, how it is changing. So, all kind of cluster position you can analyze. So, that is also important. Okay. Now, if I say the diphthong hiatus, I am not going through the slides because you can read these slides. This is the definition, linguistic definition. There is some example I have given from the Bengali. If you want, I can give you the English example also. The English example also is there. So, if you see the signal, this red line, green line, blue line and yellow line are the formant line, formant movement line. If you see that the movement of the formant is different for for different vowel after vowel combination, and that produce a hiatus, diphthong, all kinds of things will be there. This is the phonetic chart for Bengali. I have prepared it for that things. Then next class, what I will discuss, I will open a speech signal in this spectrogram and time domain speech signal, then try to find out what kind of signal it is, whether it is a to, whether it is a do, whether it is a dho, whether it is a po, whether it is a vo, we want to classify it. Okay? So, thank you.